I've done that then. Oh, yeah.
That'd be fine.
Cut it up in parts and parts and-
That'd be fine.
Well, that's not retirement.
Say that a few more times. Let's memorialize.
Oh, Tanner.
Thank you. One more.
No point.
Yeah.
Great weather, Sally.
For a coffee, I said, dang, it's been a crazy day.
Yeah, it was a real busy day. Good day, but busy day.
No, it was busy. I'm busy. I ain't lying.
Busy day.
Man, I got 4 jobs already for
Let's
tomorrow.
start with instructions. Patrick.
Hey, how you doing today? You don't, and I said,
Thank you, sir.
Parker, son, you got it.
Read these words. Hey,
Down there. Okay.
We'll begin this evening's meeting with an invocation.
It's on. Okay. Okay, tonight I'm going to read from Psalm 46. God is our refuge, and he's our strength. He's a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear. There is a river whose streams shall make glad the city of God. And I'm declaring that's Freeport. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her. She shall not be moved. The Lord of hosts is with us. So, Father God, we just thank you that you are with us. And with all the change that's going on, Lord, you are Lord over Freeport. You're going to be Lord over every part of the change that's going to happen. You will help us in our change. You, Lord, will set every person in the right place like a chess piece in the game of chess. Father, I know it and I declare it. You are going to change Freeport more and more and more. This is going to be a city that people will want to come and live here. So, Father, you are the Lord over Freeport. You are the King of all kings and Lord of all lords. And we thank you, God, that you can hear our just most silent cry for any trouble that we have. We thank you. You are very present help in any trouble. So, Lord, just have your way in this meeting tonight. And we declare that your kingdom come and your will be done in the midst of us. In Jesus Christ's name, we all agree. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. This time we will formally call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Mayor Gitz,
Here.
Alderperson Clem,
here.
McClanathan,
Here.
Ross,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Busker,
Here.
Brashaw,
Here.
Easter,
Here.
Chesney.
Here.
This time, Alderman Busker, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? In regard to the agenda, I want to advise the council that we've set up a prearranged telephone conference with our labor attorney, which will be promptly at 6:45. So wherever we are in the business, I'm going to ask the leave of the council for our executive session, at least on that item, to take place then. I've also had discussions with a number of the council about a resolution, item 10 on the fire station. Just a heads up, we'll be asking for that to go to committee of the whole to resolve some remaining issues. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with those caveats?
So moved. Second.
Okay. It is moved by Alderman McClanathan, and seconded by, I believe, Alderman Ross. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the ayes have it. We now move to the approval of the minutes from April 17th, 2017. Is there a motion for their approval?
So moved.
It's moved by Alderman Keister. Is there a second?
Second.
It's seconded by Alderperson Miller. All in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the ayes have it. We now come to item 3, which is an honorary resolution to recognize the Freeport NJROTC rifle team, who, by the way, are the new reigning national champions. Madam Clerk, could you please read that resolution?
This is an honorary resolution to recognize the Freeport NJROTC rifle team in the city of Freeport. Whereas the Freeport NJROTC rifle team has accomplished much this competition year, and whereas in June of 2016, the team of Lindsay Strawhacker, Elizabeth Watanick, Alyssa Hornig, Emma Thompson were the United States Olympic national champions. Emma Thompson was awarded individual national champion and gold medalist. Alyssa Hornig won the silver medal for second place, and Lindsay Strawhacker placed 7th overall. And whereas in July of 2016, Emma Thompson was the American Legion individual champion, setting an individual national record with the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado, out of 575 participants. And whereas in November of 2016, the team was Area 3 champions in the 9-state NJROTC conference. And whereas in December of 2016, Emma Thompson set a new national record at the Gary Anderson National Competition Champions, breaking her own record, shooting a 577. And whereas in January 2017, at the Camp Prairie Open Champions, Emma Thompson set a new national record, breaking her own record, shooting 578. Whereas in March of 2017, the team took second place, JROCH, All Service Championship honors, and in April of 2017, captured American Legion National Team Champions recognition. And whereas in April of 2017, in Civilian Marksmanship Program, ranked as regional champions, and currently are ranked first in the nation, setting a new national team record of 2,226, besting their own previous national record of 2,219. Team members included Lindsay Strawhacker, Emma Thompson, Micaiah Stacy, and Lindsay Schleckner. And whereas Freeport High School NJROTC team will compete this summer in the United States Junior Olympic Champions in June at Camp Prairie, Ohio. And whereas Sergeant Major Michael Decky, USMC, retired, and NJROTC Commander Barry Botcher deserves a recognition for guiding his team to major successes. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council and the Mayor of the City of Freeport that we and the Freeport community recognize and congratulate and take pride in the Freeport NJROTC team and coaches for their achievements and wish them the best of luck in the future endeavors. Resolved by the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Freeport, Illinois, this first day of May 2017. And I apologize if I hacked up anyone's names.
Mr. Mayor?
A motion to approve this
So moved.
honorary resolution. It's moved by Alderman Clem,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Keister. All in favor of approving this honorary resolution to recognize the rifle team, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Clerk, do we have the original?
Yes, it's over at the podium, and I think Chief Barklow would like to have been present to hear all their accomplishments.
I think he might be able to use their help, too.
Mayor?
At this time, I'd like to ask the superintendent, the principal, and sergeant major to come up to the podium. We'd like to formally present you that, have you introduce the team, and we're going to accord you an opportunity to speak, including the rifle team members.
I don't know if I
need to speak for Dr. Schiffman, but I will since I'm the first one up here. So Dr. Schiffman, our superintendent, my name's Dr. Summers, I'm the principal at the high school. We're very grateful for the opportunity for this honor in front of the city council. We think a lot of our team, all of their tremendous accomplishments. And as you could have heard maybe, that was an all-girls team that took that national title. So we're very proud of them, but Commander Betcher and Sergeant Major Dishi, if you want to approach the podium and explain a little bit more about the specialness of this honor, if I can make up a word.
My name's Sergeant Major Dishi, and I've been coaching for 9 years here at the school, and by far, this is one of the classiest group of kids that I've ever coached. From top to bottom, they're very dedicated. They make it to practice all the time, and that's the number one factor why they are so extraordinary. And we have, you heard all the records. This is a year-round sport. This isn't a 3-month sport where you get all riled up and you work out and you get ready for it, and it's over in 3 months. This is a year-round sport, every month of the year, to include the summer months. We're in practicing, we're competing, getting ready for the big events. This year, we're also taking 4 shooters to the Olympic Training Center. Last year, Emma went and she won it. They take the top 15 kids and we take them to the Olympic Training Center, and then they compete against each other. She won that last year. This year, we have 4 additional shooters that have qualified. We started the qualification process in October, and finally, just last week, they got the invite to be 4 of the top 15 again. That's Lindsay Strohacker, Lindsay Kleckner, Micaiah Stacy, and another young lady that's not here tonight, Alyssa Hornung. So all 4 of them we're taking. Most teams never get anybody in. Sometimes you're lucky enough to get 1, and we have 4 in the same year of the top 15, so we're really excited about that. And those kids also won the American Legion National Championship this year, and that was just about 10 days ago when we got the results of that, 10 or 15 days. I could talk for a long time, but I know that you've got other things. So I'd like Lindsay to stand up, and I'd like to introduce her and talk a little bit about her, and if she wants to say anything, she can. But Lindsay is the team captain. She's also our commanding officer for our unit, and there's going to be, hopefully there'll be some claps for this. She just won the NROTC scholarship to go to Arizona on a full ride, $186,000 scholarship. Really embarrassed, but she's been a fantastic leader, and she is one that we can really trust, and it's going to be really sorry to see her go. Is there anything you'd like to?
I'd just like to say thank you for everything. I like to say thank you for everything. This unit's like my family, and they really make a difference, especially since the scholarship from everything we've done here. But just thank you for all the support you're giving us.
Next, I'd like to bring up Emma Thompson. I've spent nearly every waking hour on that range with this kid because last year she qualified to go to Colorado Springs, and so after the Junior Olympic National Championship was over, everyone else got to go home for just a week or 10 days. She had to come right back the very next week, and we practiced twice a day because you shoot a very rigorous schedule at the Olympic training schedule or center. So our schedule was extremely rigorous. So we shot basically for 2.5 weeks straight, twice a day, and then we went to Colorado. And she won that when she came back. She set a record there. She came back and worked even harder and set 2 more records, breaking her own record. And I'm going to just tell them a little bit. There's a coach from Colorado Springs at the Air Force Academy has already approached her to possibly have her go and shoot NCAA at the Air Force Academy. So we're hoping things might shake out. She's only a junior, so I get her for another year. So is there anything you like to say?
Just thank you again for giving us this opportunity. It's not a lot of times you get a school sport from people in high school that come and stand in front of the city council. It's definitely a hard sport that takes a lot of time, and we're just really proud that all of us get to be a part of it.
Thank you. is a junior as well, so I get her for another year as well. And what's interesting about Micaiah and the rest of the kids, this year, if you look over here, they wear a gold medal. That is the Junior Distinguished Badge. And you have to get to the nationals a couple of years in a row and shoot at high levels and accumulate points over time. Most kids shoot their entire career and high school career and never even come close. Micaiah got that at the end of last year in her sophomore year. She's been a part of the team here for 3 years. She does a great job, and she also runs our admin for administration, which we have a lot of administration for the rifle team, and she runs that. She's a great shooter, a great work ethic, very intelligent, and very much helps all the other kids on the team as well.
Just as the other two have said, I just want to say thank you for this recognition and showing us how important we are to the school and to the city council.
Next, I want Lindsay Kleckner to come up. Lindsay is a sophomore. I have her for 2 more years after this, and so I'm very excited about that. Lindsay came to us at the end of her 8th grade year. She started shooting in the summer, and her very first, after she practiced for basically 3 weeks, she actually, in her age group at that time, because she was very young, at that time she qualified to go to the Junior Olympics in her age group. And so we took her, and she ended up 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, 4th in her age group in the nation. And so we were very excited about that. So I knew that she would eventually put forth a great effort for the team. And this year we had a girl that had a medical issue, and so she jumped right in and took over that spot. And that's, again, we've set a national record higher than the one when we had the other girl. I want the other girl to come back, but we have this young lady here. She does a fantastic job, and you can see that most of these neck medals, we call these neck medals, and most of these neck medals were just basically since December. She's earned all these individually for the team and in individual medals. So we're very excited about having her for the next couple of years, and her name is Lindsay Kleckner.
Just like how the others said, I'm just really happy to be here, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity.
Thank you. I have 5 others, members of the team as well. I'm just going to have them stand, and I'll introduce them. First, we have freshman. She's a freshman, Caitlin Raddick, and she's really shown a lot of promise this year. She's already shooting way above most of the other freshmen, and I'll have her go ahead and stand up as well, both of you. And this is Kaya Lyman, and she, again, these are 2 highly competitive, so the future is very bright because they go at each other all the time, and they're always looking to see what the other one shot, and they're trying to outdo each other. But it's a friendly competition. What's really, I wanted to tell you, we came back from the competition, and our senior team, our number 1 team, they had really competed all weekend and were really worn out. We went to East Aurora High School with 65 other schools and teams, and I said, I'm just going to let the freshman team go in there and get a little bit of experience. They won it. They won it. I'm really excited about that. Go ahead and have a seat, please. Next, we have Austin Martinez. Austin Martinez is a sophomore, going to be a junior. He's been around. He is steady Eddie. He helps me fix rifles. He's got a little technical side to him, and he's kind of a techie kid. And so he helps me with the rifles and helps me with other things. And he's a great shooter himself. You can see he's already earned his bronze medal, and so he's earning points. He's 1/3 of the way there. His next he'll get a silver medal, and then he'll finish off with gold, probably beginning to the middle of next year. So we're really excited about that. So that'll be still another distinguished shooter. And let's see. Next. team and some other things that we're doing, and she is just very intellectual and very helpful and a great member of the team. Next we have Edmund Ellis, and this year he has done some amazing things. He's not only great at air rifle, he's great at drill. He runs like the wind. He's strong as an ox. He just does everything for us. He's just one of the best kids in our unit. But he is a great shooter, and you can see he's got his bronze medal as well. So he's working his points toward getting his gold medal. He's a great addition to the team. This is his second full year, and we're looking forward to a very strong team in the future. You can see I've got 3 sophomores, 2 freshmen, another sophomore, so we're going to be strong for a long time. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sergeant Major, I'm really delighted to have your team here tonight. Your enthusiasm is infectious. On behalf of the council, we'd like to offer you a signed copy of this resolution. We'll provide them to your team members, and we wish you all the very best in the future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, everyone.
Mayor, do they want to take a picture with you up there?
Want a picture of you with the team?
Yes, sure. Come on, team, real quick. Mind if we use this as a...
Sure.
Not at all.
Right ahead.
Okay, 'cause then we'll get the
Picture.
whole thing.
Dude.
All right.
In case you didn't know, he's in charge.
All right, so I'm not going to stand
Major in the Marine Corps, you don't say boo to.
there. I'm going to tie over here.
He's a great guy.
Just in the middle of the back. Okay, you want to get in the middle behind the mirror in the back? Okay.
Good job, guys.
Right here, kind of right there. Right here, you place right in there. Okay, you two on the ends. You should see us on organizational pictures. Oh. I would rather you smile. I might even smile.
Wow.
That does not happen often.
Yeah.
Smile.
The reason Marines don't smile in pictures is because we're always on watch. Everybody asks, but that's.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
if I could. Okay. Hey, I really want to thank all you young men and women for coming here tonight. You guys all look outstanding, but being under the Sergeant Major, I know you wouldn't be any other way, but Beth and Dr. Schiffman, what a great group of people and what representation for Freeport High School and for the city of Freeport. If we could only pan our audience and look out here and see all these kids over here, and then on the other side we've got Boy Scouts. So for all of us, for all of the people that think about all the kids and what all the bad they do, let's give the ones recognition that deserve it and really put their efforts forward to move forward. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Mayor. Mayor, if I
Before our
may-
guests depart, is there any other member of the council who would like to have a word?
Mayor,
Alderman Keister.
thank you. Mostly reflecting what Alderman Clem said, I think it's wonderful we have a program for this, or like this for the high school kids. You hear too much about kids out on the street doing bad things, and to see these kind of accomplishments here by high school students is a wonderful thing, and I think we need to advertise it more. For a city of Freeport the size we've got to have this many champions in it and the accomplishments they made, I think it's a wonderful thing, and I think we need to get more advertisement for you. And also, those of you who were at the Sky concert last year, you saw their team present the colors. They will also be at the Sky concert this year presenting their colors, and I believe if we can arrange it, their drill team will also be out there at some given time putting on a demonstration, and that is an award-winning drill team as well, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you. So I'm looking forward to watching them and enjoying their presentation. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you for joining us tonight. We wish you all the best and much success. This time, we don't have any comments on agenda items. This is a relatively short meeting. Mr. Havens, do you mind if we handle this at the end of the meeting? Okay, great. Thank you. We now move to the consent agenda. Madam Clerk reminds me that we have one of our Boy Scout troops here. Would the leader like to introduce your troop tonight? I know they're here on assignment. First, welcome. We're happy to have you here.
Good evening. Vicki Kestet. I'm committee chair for Troop 19 out of Faith United Methodist Church. I have two boys here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and their purpose for being here today.
My name is Braulio Santa Cruz. I'm the assistant patrol leader of Troop 19.
I'm Hunter Sylvester. I'm the quartermaster of Troop 19.
We're here to get our communication merit badge done.
I'll explain a little bit more. One of the areas of focus that they have to work on, there's like 7 different requirements, and that is to attend a public meeting, take notes, and then report it out to their counselor, which they will be doing at camp this summer. So we thank you for allowing us the opportunity.
Thank you. We hope that our notes will report on us favorably. At this time, we'll move to item 5, which is the consent agenda. First, is there any item that a member of the council would like to remove for further consideration?
Mayor,
Alderperson Bradshaw.
I would like to remove one item just for a comment later. That's the comment update to be placed on file with the consent agenda.
Okay, which item here? Can you give it by number?
Number 2.
Number 2, okay. With that exception, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Let's move Alderman Keister. Is there a second?
Second.
And seconded by Alderperson Bradshaw. The consent agenda has upon it a letter from IEPA dated April 21st, 2017 regarding the notice of application for permit to manage waste at the Freeport Municipal Landfills 2 and 3. Item 3 is a building permit report of activities through March 2017. Item 4 is the Fire Department report of activities for the month of March 2017. Item 5, a notice from the Water and Sewer Commission dated April 27, 2017 of Consumer Price Index CPI effective May 2nd, 2017. The approval of the water and sewer bills payable in the total amount of $728,080.68. The approval of the payroll for the pay period ending April 15, 2017 in the total amount of $451,910.63. And finally, the approval of the bills payable totaling $1,215,394.13. There having been a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda with the one item, item number 2, removed. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
Keister.
Aye.
Chesney.
Aye.
Lem.
Aye.
Planathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Passes 8-0.
We'll now move back to item A2, which is a letter from Commonwealth Edison dated April 17, 2017 regarding their annual update to the Illinois Commerce Commission and an increase of $1 in an average monthly bill starting January 2018 with attachments. Alderperson Bradshaw.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to point out to the listening public, just so everybody knows this is an open item, that the council doesn't necessarily vote on increasing any rates. This is just a ComEd's update, and they made comments to us that they would, if this is passed, they would increase the rates by $1 on the average monthly residential bill starting January 2018, as filed with the ICC. This is based on the revenue request that is approximately $96 million more than the revenue requirement approved by the ICC in last year's annual update. They talked about, for example, it includes investments in smart meters, which are now deployed to over 3 million customers, providing them with more opportunities to control their energy usage and save money. They are looking for a stronger, more reliable grid with fewer outages, And in order to do so, they are talking about increasing the rates, and they file this, I guess it's collectively the Energy Infrastructure Modernization Act, or EIMA. And they're looking for, to increase these rates, and in doing so, they provide us 8 pages of testimony and averages. If any of the listening public wants to look at their testimony as why they need these rate increases, they can look on the City Council agenda, May 1st, 2017, and it is all listed there under the consent agenda PDF, under consent agenda item number 5 for tonight's date. There again, the council, if the listening public is paying attention, we do not vote on rate increases, but it may happen if it's so approved. That's it.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to receive this communication and place it on file. Receipt and placing it on file does not mean approval or agreement. It just simply means we acknowledge we've received the communication.
So
That
moved.
understanding, is there a motion? Alderperson Bradshaw moves to
Second.
receive it and place it on file, which has been seconded by Alderman Keister. All in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you. We now move to item 6, which are the financial reports for fiscal year 2016-2017 for the period that ended on March 31st, 2017. Director Bernardell.
Thank you, Mayor. In the package I set out to last week to council is a report for 11 months of this current fiscal year, and include all the details, so I will entertain any question that council has for me.
Are there any questions for the finance director from the council? If not, is there a motion to receive these communications and place them on file?
So moved.
It's moved by Alderperson Bradshaw, seconded by Alderman Busker, to receive the reports of the finance director, each of them, and to place them on file. All in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the ayes have it. We now move to item 7, which is first reading of ordinance 2017-36. Madam Clerk, could you please read this ordinance?
This is first reading of ordinance 2017-36, an ordinance amending chapter 236 of the codified ordinances of the city of Freeport, Illinois regarding accounting and finance and the required signatories on city warrants.
Finance Director, you're charged with the responsibility of presenting the ordinance. I know it's been a collective effort between you and the treasurer. Would you please summarize for the viewing public and also for the council the simple provisions of this ordinance?
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 2017-36 is just housekeeping items. In 2 weeks, the city of Freeport will be changing government from a full-time mayor to a city manager, and the ordinance is just to replace the name of the full-time mayor to the city manager, who will be signing all the checks.
Okay. Any questions from the council?
Mayor,
Alderperson McClanathan.
do you want suspension of the rules tonight so it can be signed and taken care of everything, or do you just want to handle it on second reading on the 15th?
Can be done either way according to the finance director and treasurer.
Okay.
It's council's choice. We have basically, we're readying this to have it effective. I'd feel more comfortable if it was in place early, but
Okay.
it's not necessary.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion to approve has been made by Alderman McClanathan, seconded by Alderman Clem. It's now before the floor. Would you like to make a further motion?
Yes, Mayor. I'd like to move to suspend the rules for passage.
Second.
Alderman McClanathan, seconded by Alderman Busker, moves for the immediate suspension of the city council rules for immediate consideration of ordinance 2017-36. That motion is non-debatable and requires an extraordinary majority. All in favor of the motion to suspend the rules for immediate consideration, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? In the judgment of the chair, it's unanimous. Ordinance 2017-36 and its contents is now before the council for final passage. Is there any questions, comments, or debate on this ordinance? Seeing no further comment, no further discussion or debate, Madam Clerk, please take the roll call on the motion to approve ordinance 2017-36.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Keister,
Aye.
Chesney,
Aye.
Lum,
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
That passes 8-0.
We now come to item 8, which is first reading of ordinance 2017-37. Madam Clerk, would you please read this ordinance?
This is an ordinance to approve the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as parts of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of the City of Freeport, Illinois.
Madam Clerk, would you please describe what we're doing here? I know it's housekeeping.
Mayor Gitz has described this ordinance as housekeeping because most of these, or all these ordinances are actually already in the online version of the codified ordinances, and the only thing we were waiting for was the paper versions. And so this ordinance asks you to pass these documents and so that they're numbered correctly into the written codified ordinances.
Are there any questions from the council?
Mayor,
Alderman Keister.
motion to move it forward.
Alderman Keister moves approval. Is there a second?
Second.
It's seconded by Alderperson Brashaw.
Mayor,
Yes.
motion to suspend the rules.
Second. Alderman Chesney makes a motion to suspend the rules for immediate consideration. That motion has been seconded by Alderman Busker. The motion is non-debatable, requires an extraordinary majority. All in favor of suspending the rules for immediate consideration, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the ayes have it. Ordinance 2017-37 is now before the council on final passage. Is there any further comments, discussion, or debate? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
Keister.
Aye.
Chesney.
Aye.
Clem.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
That passes 8-0. And I would like to note for the city council that the ordinances since September 2016 have been sent into the codifiers in order for them to get those online as well. And then because both of these ordinances were passed, we don't have any old business for the next meeting.
We're efficient.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We now move to resolutions. Item 9 depends on an executive session. Item 10 is adoption of Resolution 2017-27. This is the month-to-month lease for the vacant fire station that I spoke of earlier. Chair will entertain a motion to move this over to the Committee of the Whole next week for further discussion.
Second.
It's moved by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Chesney, to move this to Committee of the Whole for further refinement. All in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. I think we have time before we go to executive session to move to reports of department heads. The Police Department, Public Safety Building, we have approval of bids. Mr. Police Chief.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. We opened the custodial bids for cleaning at the Police Department April 24th. We received 4 sealed bids for the 2-year contracts. Presents for the opening were Deputy Chief Summers, Clerk Zaravel, and Finance Michelle Richter. All the bids were complete upon inspection, and after reviewing the bids, I recommend we accept the lowest responsive bid, and that goes to Bush Janitorial Services for a monthly cost of $800. We're very familiar with the Bush cleaning. We trust them. I think that everybody here understands that, not that some of these other people maybe are not trusted, we just don't have a relationship like we do with Bush. They've been in our building for quite some time, and we're comfortable with them. So I would recommend that we accept them. They came
Mayor.
with the lower bid.
Alderman Chesney.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's moved by Alderman Chesney, seconded by Alderman Busker to approve Bush Janitorial Services in the amount of $800 per month as the janitorial service for the Police Department at 320 West Exchange. Is there any discussion from the council in regard to that motion? Seeing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, please take the roll on the motion to approve Bush Janitorial.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
Keister.
Aye.
Chesney.
Aye.
Clem.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
That passes 8-0.
We still have another 5 minutes. Let's see if we can get our department reports done. We'll start with the Fire Chief.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just for my report this evening is about, last 10 days, we've had 2 structure fires. The first being on the 300 block of West Elk. The second one was the 100 block of Frank Street. And we're happy to report that there were no injuries in either of those structure fire responses. However, on the Frank Street fire, we did rescue 5 dogs and a parrot. So that good outcomes for the family there, so we're kind of happy about that.
Did the
Includes my-
parrot say thank you?
I think he was trying to, but
Any questions from the council for the fire chief? Police chief, anything further?
I just want to mention that we'll be testing for officer testing, for new officers this Saturday, the junior high. So we're excited about that, maybe to help with some of our manpower issues. Also, all the patrol shifts have been fully briefed, and extra patrol noted for the east side with watching that particular area over there.
Any questions from the council? Not, thank you.
Thank you.
Water and sewer.
Just a first report of many to come here during the month of May. The cautiously awaited and anticipated startup of the pressure zone will happen now in the month of May. It's going to take several series of events. I will be talking with the Journal Standard and Mr. Hart at the radio station to do some public announcements of notification of an immense amount of flushing that you'll see across the city. We are working this week to actually activate the tower and do final testing, and then there'll be multiple valve closures, which will start the flushing program. And then it's anticipated the end of the second to third week of May, the actual raise in pressure will happen in that area. So it'll take several series of timings, and operational controls will be the big thing. So that'll be happening, and I'll be reporting further on it here in the future.
I think it might be useful, Director, if you would share some of the visible effects that people will observe when we start this back flushing.
I think the biggest thing is everybody will see a discoloration in water, and it's at what level will they see at that point in time. If it ends up being just something light, please, flush your own lines, see if it persists. We will have our standard phone numbers to call the water sewer dispatch, construction dispatch, so that we can work on isolated areas if it becomes really cumbersome. So please call, that we need information being fed back to us to let us know where it's at. But discolored water will probably be the number one. If you see a lot of discolored water, you may end up actually seeing a drop in pressure, but please check your aerators on your faucets, because we might be breaking some larger chunks of rust. At all times, the water is safe for chlorinated supply. We don't have to worry about the water being unsafe. It is still safe, but the discoloration will be the worst. So this will probably persist for several months, but the worst will be in the beginning. So.
Any questions from the council?
Mayor.
Alderman Ross.
Yes, Mr. Glendetti. What part of town will you be starting at?
Well, this is all going to be obviously in the west central portion where the new high pressure zone is, where Burchard Tank will serve. So, basically boundaries, everything, we're expecting to see everything west of 26, south of Galena, and the southern line's kind of non-defined, but we'll say just south of Empire. So that whole area there will be the most influenced. But on this side of the town, we may see some reversal flows just east of 26. That's going to see the biggest reversal flows, and that should be a very tight area. But we're anticipating water main breaks, so if anyone sees water flowing that looks unusual, again, please call our water sewer construction dispatch number, please.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the council? If not, Director Dole. Okay. Director Mills.
Just like to briefly thank those who attended the meeting our department hosted last week regarding the illegal dumping on the city's east side. Sheriff Snyders and Sergeant Wiesel of the Stevenson County Sheriff's Department Chief Barklow, Lieutenant Davis from Freeport Police Department, Director Dole, Alderman Ross, our nuisance inspector, and of course you, Mayor. I think we've gotten a lot of good feedback from what's come out of that meeting as far as we've gotten an action plan together. We're working to get some estimates from contractors to rectify some of that dumping that's already occurred. We've got some ideas on how we're going to keep it from happening. And also we're exploring some other issues about the larger problem of dumping, how maybe we can, as a community, tackle that in terms of making the right places more accessible, things of that nature. So,
Any questions from the council? Not? Finance Director?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to let council know that tomorrow at 1:30, I'll be, the finance department will be meeting with the auditors to start planning the next accounting audit. And just want as a reminder that fiscal year ended 2 days ago, and tomorrow we're meeting with the auditors to start working on it.
Any questions from the council? That concludes department reports. At this time, Madam Clerk, I'd like to move to item 15, which is the executive session. Would you please read the exclusions into the record that we're asking the council to approve?
There are 2 items for the executive session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2. Item 21 is discussion of minutes lawfully closed under this act, whether for the purpose of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by section 2.06, and according to 5 ILCS 120/2C2, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules from one or more classes of employees.
The chair will entertain a formal motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
To the 2 mentioned
Second.
exceptions. It has been moved by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Clem. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll on that motion to go into executive session on those
Busker?
2 items?
Aye.
Brashaw?
Aye.
Easter?
Aye.
Chesney?
Aye.
Clem?
Aye.
McClanathan?
Aye.
Ross?
Aye.
Miller?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, which room are we using for the phone hookup?
The one with the phone?
All right. For the viewing audience and members that are here, we don't anticipate to be a long session. We will conclude our business, and I also want the public to be aware that there might be a resolution at the conclusion of the executive session. There might not be. Thank you.
Yeah, I get it.
Tom, can you stay until we get in?
True. I know.
Understand you're retiring.
So much appreciated, it means a lot to me, so. So it means a lot. All right, thank you. All right, thank you.
You're done, so let's go. Huh? You're done?
Yeah.
Let's go. I agree.
Okay. I think
Better stand here. Can't stand behind the same room with all these people.
I don't blame you, but I'm pissed.
Best thing you ever did.
Probably. We had a good board right here, we would leave. Probably. Is anything going on with the city screwed? Of course, it probably is anyway.
It is. John, want to get a couple of sound bites with you on the testing on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is that Rick?
How many amps? Roughly.
Over 20.
Really?
Thank you. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
It's moved by Alderman Keister. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderperson Bradshaw. Madam Clerk, this is a roll call vote. Would you call the roll on the motion to come out of executive session?
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
Easter,
Aye.
Chesney,
Aye.
Clem,
Aye.
McClanathan,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Passes 8-0.
Okay, this time, in reference to item 16, the chair will entertain a motion to move this over to a special meeting before the committee of the whole at next Monday's meeting.
So move.
Moved by Alderman Keister. Is there a second?
Second.
It's seconded by Alderman McClanathan. All in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Now we'll go back to, we have finished item 11. We'll go to item 12, the mayor's report. I want to cover a couple of things very briefly with the council. First, the transition to the new city manager and new council structure and new administration. The staff and I are working on a transition report, which we hope to have prepared probably about a week from this coming Friday. This will include a report on all of the activities of present departments, eminent issues that are facing departments, and recommendations that we have for you in relation to those departments. Second, I'm sure the council has taken note that there's some special issues with an illegal landfill on the east edge of town. The news articles and reports of the Community Development Director kind of speak for themselves, but I think it might be useful for a moment to highlight some of the issues, how we propose to address them. So EPA has indicated suddenly after disinterest that maybe they'll come look at this after all. We're inviting them to take a look at this because they have enforcement powers that we do not. Number two, Public Works is offering to create a berm, which will make access to the item a little more difficult. And Alderman Ross was there and we discussed that. Third, the police department and sheriff's department have both taken a commitment that they will be far more vigorous on enforcement of illegal dumping. By the way, the type of dumping that we're talking about is not just simply somebody taking their pickup truck and unloading it. I mean, we have basically little skid loaders that are running around pushing stuff into the pond, creating burn piles, singeing trees. This is truly like an organized dump, and we'd like to put an end to it in part because it's not fair to the residents, but also because there's a dedicated effort to improving the corridor coming into the city and East 75. And as Alderman Ross has indicated, there's a lot of issues along the river with those road systems. So this will all be part of a report to you. Third, the director's been working on budget figures. What we hope to provide the council is just simply a rough cut of all the commitments that are incorporated in labor documents and others for your consideration as a starting point for your deliberations. And we're not suggesting any action on it. We just want you to have the numbers and the narrative that go with it for your future reference. Finally, labor documents. As soon as we have documents, we will distribute those to the council. Hopefully we'll have those later this week. When we get information, we'll provide it to you. If there are no questions, we'll move on. Council announcements, starting with Alderperson Busker.
Nothing this evening.
Alderperson Bradshaw.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm actually excited that the new water tower will be up and running soon to increase the water pressure, but I'm also a little bit afraid. As most of my constituents know, this water pressure issue has been talked about for years. 2013 was the first time we were promised that the water tower would be soon up and running, and here it is 2017, and it's just now hopefully underway. And this wasn't due to the fact of any one person being negligent. It's just that the engineering report wasn't precise enough to know that our water mains couldn't take that additional pressure and would possibly rupture. And we have had several problems with freezing and thawing with water in the past, as everyone knows. I want to thank Director Glendenning and the water facility people that have been working on this diligently and trying to get this up and running. This affects mainly Ward 6, Ward 1, Ward 2, and a little bit of Ward 4, I believe, and maybe a little bit of Ward 7. But primarily it's my ward, the Burchard Hills area, the Burchard Hills Water Tower area. So hopefully our constituents will be diligent to let us know if there are problems, whether they call the water department or call their alderman to tell them what's going on. Anyhow, thank you very much.
Thank you. Alderman Keister.
Thank you, Mayor. Real quickly, first of all, with what Alderperson Bradshaw said, the water pressure over there has been bad for a long time. I know that back when I was still in the fire department, there were several areas where we had to be very, very careful if we had a fire, how much water we tried to draw and we'd collapse the line. Hopefully this will correct that issue along with the house uses. Second, I'd like to talk about Sky Concert. I haven't given a real detailed report yet because of everything going on. I've been very busy. I'm still waiting on answer from the radio station. By the end of the week, I'm going to have to make a decision whether we're going to do it with or without music. Melrose is on standby to take care of it for us this year. They gave us the best offer. I'm hoping by next council meeting to have a contract for approval on that. And I do apologize for the delay. We are still working on some of the entertainment and stuff for that. Fundraising, reach out to the public like we do every year. If you want to donate to the Sky Concert, you can go on our website, freeportskyconcert.com. There is a link on there where you can donate there, or you can send a check to Danielle Rogers down at Freeport Downtown Development. The check needs to be made out to Freeport Sky Concert / NIDA, since NIDA is our financial agent right now, since we do not have not-for-profit status at the moment. And one final note, since I've had a lot of inquiries, my wife is doing very well right now. Her strength and everything is back up. We are hoping that she will be back home next week. We're getting things ready for that. And we will be going up to Madison tomorrow to get some more information and hopefully have some final decisions and directions on this as to which way we're going to go.
Thank you. Alderman Chesney.
Nothing, Mayor, thank you.
Alderman Clem.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Alderman McClanathan.
Nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Alderman Ross.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yes, I am very happy that we're starting to move on that dumping site, illegal dumping site. For some time now, it's been going on. But I'm glad that the effort with the Freeport Police Department and the Sheriff Department to do the extra patrol is really going to help out. And like the mayor stated, yes, they had a little operation going back there, but no longer, their operation has been canceled. So I'm very happy that we got the ball rolling. It's another way that we're going to move Freeport forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderperson Miller.
Nothing, thank you.
That concludes council announcements and new business. We now move to item 14, public comments. I believe we have two.
I won't be long, I promise.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your hand if you have planned for dinner on Thursday night. Well, I encourage you to come on down to the Wagner House for the annual Boys and Girls Club Burger Dinner. The dinner will begin at 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. Tickets are $50 and can be redeemed by calling Jim Ryan at the Boys and Girls Club. Over the past 9 years, members of the community have generously supported the Boys and Girls Club succeed so young people who see life through a different lens have a place to learn and grow. I look forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you.
Thank you. Tommy?
I was one that tells Todd Bacco, the people from Pleasant Health is going to the Special Olympics at Howden High School. And and with Richard Ass and Tom Tyke and Kelly Dawson and Nikki Secret and Andy Auburn's going to go down. We're going down to the Harlem High School as a Special Olympic.
We wish you every success.
And their gift you're going to miss it. It's going to be fun, and they're going to have some hot dog and some chips and have fun down there.
Good luck, and we hope you win. Is there any other public comment? Is there anyone else who would like to be heard? If not, that concludes all of our agenda items, and at this time, the chair will